My name is Matt Bennett. I own and operate Fly Geek Custom Flies here in Austin, Texas. I've been fly fishing and tying here in the hill country for about 10 years now. Today we're going to tie one of my favorite flies for targeting our Rio Grande Cichlids, the Rio Getter. It's a pattern I developed specifically for targeting Rio Grande Cichlids here in the hill country, but it's also a great fly for panfish, bass, and even carp. I typically target the cichlids on usually a size 12 to a 14. Oftentimes I'll sight fish this fly to Rios that are kind of paired off and hanging out. And all you have to do really is just to be able to drop the fly kind of right in front of them, let it sit on the bottom a little bit, and usually one will come over and just pick it up. It's a pretty good searching pattern too because it's so small. It just imitates a real small damsel or dragonfly nymph. I hope you add some to your box and have some success. All right, so we're gonna do the Rio Getter in the olive color. This is a Gamakatsu B10S in a size 10. I tie these from an 8, probably down to about a 14 or so, just depending. But I kind of err on the smaller size. The thread I'm using is a Veevus 12-aught olive, and I'm just gonna lay a little bit of a thread bump there and then place these eyes onto here. These are brass eyes in a small size in black. And I'm just gonna set those a couple eye lengths or so back from the front of the hook. And go ahead and tie those in. Just maybe 10 wraps or so on each side. This thread's pretty thin. I don't want to pull too hard and break it, and just secure those in like that. So the tail in this fly is going to be Grizzly Marabou or Chickabou. You want to find a piece that kind of comes flat to a point there for your tail. You set that on top of your hook, and that's about as long as your tail is going to be, but it's going to go down the hook kind of about here. So I measure that out and pinch it in, and then just go ahead and wrap that down like that. Once you get it secured, cut the excess off, wrap it down the shank to where your tail kind of sticks up like that. I'll usually go back up towards the eyes and add a little bit of Chartreuse ultra wire. We're going to set that right on the side of the hook and go ahead and wrap that in. This is the small sized ultra wire. Once we have that in, we're going to go ahead and dub our body. This is Whitlock SLF dubbing in the Sculpin olive color. We're just going to take a little pinch of that. Most people have trouble dubbing because they use a little bit too much dubbing, so you don't need much, and you don't dub it on all at once. You want to kind of build a tapered body, so I just put a little bit on at a time. It's always easy to add a little more if you think you're going to need more. Then you kind of have a little bit of a tapered dubbing noodle there. And we're just going to wrap it all the way up to right behind the eyes. You're going to take this wire rib and just counter wrap that. I usually give it about 6 wraps or so. Go ahead and I just hold that there next to the shank and wrap over it, and then just tug it a couple times to make sure it's tight and cut that piece off. We're going to add some legs to the fly. These are Grizzly micro legs in a root beer color, or a barred pumpkin from other suppliers. These are the Hareline versions. We're going to fold one of those in half and set it right on top of the eye on the side of the hook shank. Tie that in and take this front facing piece back over, hold it on the other side and wrap back over it. And that secures your legs kind of to the near and far side of the hook. To keep them swept back, we're going to take just a small pinch of this dubbing here again. Wrap that in, and then we're going to take these legs and kind of cut them to be about all the same length. You don't want to keep them too long. It makes it really easy for the fish to come over and just pick the fly up by the legs. The last step for this fly, I'm in between the eyes and the hook eye. We're going to find one more pretty good marabou feather here and make a little wing. And you want that to extend back to about the base of the tail or so. I just kind of pinch that down and give it some soft wraps. Then if you pull this tag piece up and back and expose that hook shank a little bit more, you can prop this piece up, and it makes it pretty easy to cut it a lot closer to the hook shank to where you don't have marabou covering your eye or your hook. I'm going to secure this back and wrap over these tag ends of the feather, and then I'm just going to take my whip finisher and whip finish the fly like so. And I'm going to take a little bit of this Loon UV clear fly finish. I like the fluorescent kind. I'm going to add just a little drop to the exposed thread there and just cure it with this light, just to help with the durability of the fly. And then that's it. That is your finished olive Rio Gooder in a size 10.